welcome back. We are here for SAStober. Number 1, a hood tale. Now, how I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna randomly upload videos that I don't normally do, the recaps and reviews, and that will be a SAStober video. I'm just giving you a little extra, this month. It may be a vlog, it may be a cooking video, it may be a story time, it may be me just sitting here and just running my mouth. And of course, I will go live during this month. But let's talk about a hood tale. And the story I'm about to tell you, child, my experience going to the hood. Well, really, it wasn't the hood, it was the projects. But I really didn't want to call it a project tale. I just thought a hood tale sounded so much better. Now, if you're new here, I'm Sass. Hey, how you doing? Grew up, born and raised in Virginia, small town, country life. And where I grew up, we really didn't have hoods or projects. We didn't have any of that. We had places where people lived. Black folks lived here, usually as family. White people lived here. Or white and black people lived in the same neighborhood. That was not uncommon whatsoever. We also had an apartment complex, nowhere near a project, child. Very small, very quaint. They had some street pharmaceuticals things going on and a couple of fights. But really, that's really it. And of course, trailer parks. So that's how I grew up. Now, the next city over, if you want to call it that, next city over, they had some hood places. Okay, they had a couple of projects, but nothing compared to what some of you, wherever you live at, in the bigger cities, where they have like complexes, child. Poor. Now, when I graduated, I went to college in the state of Virginia, a small college, in a city that is beautiful. Beautiful city, kind people, laid back. It was definitely a bigger city with a small town vibe. I will describe it like that. Also, the crime rate was very low. It was definitely a college, young person type of vibe. And of course, here I am. Here I am loving every bit of it. Seeing things I've never seen, enjoying life. Now, there was a mom and pop shop not too far from the university where you can go in there and get a cup of coffee, a big orange juice, a sausage and egg biscuit, and some hash browns for $3. Baby, I was there every morning. Now, I was getting my usual order. That was it. And this guy walked in. Honey, he looked like a walking Snickers, okay? I'm not even lying to you, honey. He was thick like that, in a good way. And he was chocolate, and I was like, oh my God, who is he? Who is he? So, of course, I began sweating, just nervous, because I was 18 years old, and I was very, very, very shy. There is no way I would approach a guy. That just wouldn't happen. It would not happen. So, I noticed him, and he had on work boots, some dingy jeans with holes in them, look like they've been washed over and over and over and over again. And he had on a fleece, like, the long john material, but in a shirt that was fitted. I was like, oh my God. So I knew he just didn't look like he went to the university, but he obviously had a job somewhere. So I was like, oh my God. But he had that smell, that workman smell. You know I'm talking about? He didn't stink. He just had that workman smell. That little musty, but in a good way. Whew. So, of course, you know, we made eye contact, but I bolted. So I went back to my dorm, and I was talking to Jersey. Cool girl that was in my dorm. She's the one that showed me how to play spades, was Jersey. So I was telling Jersey, I was like, girl, there was this cute guy at the shop, and I didn't say anything, and she was like, girl, what is wrong with you? Say something. So I was like, the next time I see him, I'm gonna, you know, say something. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna get over my shyness, which is wrong. You never really get over your shyness. So, a couple of months went by. We kept missing each other. I didn't see him, so I was like, oh, well. So it started getting a little crisp in the air. A little crisp. It was around, you know, late October, mid-October. And so I went in there, got my little usual order, and here he comes. And he taps me on the shoulder, and he was like, hey, you know, how are you? And so we started talking. And, of course, then, y'all, nobody, I mean, none that I knew had a cell phone. This was in 1993. I definitely didn't have no cell phone, child. But we had a phone inside of the dorm. So I was like, you know, you can, you know, call that number. He was like, all right, bet. So I went out there, and y'all, I was like high stepping. I was like, oh. So of course, I'm like waiting for that phone to ring. So later on that night, that phone rang, and he was like, okay, this is where I live. Why don't you come see me? That's red flag number one. But of course, 18-year-old me ain't thinking about, why don't you come pick me up? Why do I have to go to you? Of course, I wasn't thinking that, because the only thing I thought was a walking Snickers bar. Pretty teeth. Pretty face. Nice skin. That's all I was thinking about, child. So, of course, I was like, oh, sure. What's the address? Now, I have no idea where this person lives or anything. He lives here. He's not a college student. He lives there. So, I wrote down the address, and I was telling Jersey, I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to go see him tomorrow night. And she was like, girl, you good? You good? I was like, yeah. I was like, but I'm going to have to catch a bus. And so I didn't have a vehicle. So, you know, and I wasn't paying for no taxi because I didn't have no money for no taxi, child. So I had to catch a bus. So another girl in the dorm was like, won't you just take my car? And I said, excuse me, are you sure? And she was like, yeah. She was like, just take the car. It's all good. Now, she had a little hatchback, child. It was a stick. No problem. I can drive a stick. Where he lived was off of Martin Luther King Drive. Warning sign number 2. We all know that if you live anywhere in the vicinity of MLK, there's some violence going on. Shout out to Chris Rock. He ain't never said truer words, honey. Ever. So again, 18-year-old me wasn't thinking about that. So I was pumped, you guys. I was ready to meet Snickers Bar, honey. Woo! His name was Terrence. So I got ready. I put on makeup. My hair was done. Jersey did my hair. I had the outfit done, y'all, honey. I was ready. So I got in the car, and I got to driving. I was getting nervous and nervous and nervous and nervous. And then I see the address, and I looked at my sheet of paper. Because, you know, every time when you're driving and you're trying to find directions, you turn the radio down and you look at the directions. So I'm looking at the directions, and I look up, look at the directions, and I look up. Complex. River Wind Apartments. Why is it that in the projects, or in certain neighborhoods that the apartment complexes have like nice names. Riverwind, Cedar Woods, Hickory Ridge. You know, they know not to call it gunshots after 10. Enter at your own risk apartments. Leave before night avenue. So I pull in. And of course, not even 50 feet into the complex, I get this. Yes, friends. Yes, friends. Now, they don't have a sign that says slow down children at play. They got those little road bumpers. Every 2 inches. You only going 3 miles an hour. Well, they have them there for a reason, because children are everywhere. Running around, darting in front of vehicles, just loud, unsupervised, may I add. And they don't mind coming up to your car. They don't mind that one bit. Who are you? Why are you here? Who are you here to see? So you ain't got to worry about cops. You got them hard-headed, badass kids on guard. They just come up to your car like a stray cat. Like, where your mama? So, this complex, you all, is huge. So I'm like, oh, well, okay, he told me this, he told me that, and so I'm driving around, all right, and I finally get to his building. So I get to his building. Of course, it's the last building on the left. As my homegirl Poetry says, always in the back. Now, I'm not saying that this said Terrence, the walking Snickers ball, is a street pharmacist. I'm not saying that because, see, it was never proven. I'm just telling you what I experienced, what I know. I'm sure your testimony is different. If you don't know what a street pharmacist is, that is a term that was said perfectly by the legend Tupac in Poetic Justice. Street pharmacist means D-R-U-G, dealer. So, I get out of my car, kids all over the place, people all over the place. So here I am, walking up these hard-chipped concrete steps with the raggedy iron rails. So I get up there. I knock on the door. He answers with no shirt on and gray sweatpants. Now, I wasn't upset by this. Not at all. He didn't bother putting on the shirt. So I go in. Now, you all, here is where I'm going to give you the theory of, or how you will know that you have stepped into a street pharmacist's apartment. Now, I'm not saying this boy was. This is just me talking. My observations. So you walk in, and I immediately notice the black pleather furniture, the sectional. And then it had the most god-awful, ugliest lamps on the side tables. They all match. And then you have the coffee table with the glass top. That's a must. See, all that came in a set at that good old rental center. And then back in 1993, it may be different now, we're in 2021, but in 1993, at a street pharmacist's house, apartment house, whatever, you will see the biggest entertainment system known to man. The biggest. And what is inside of the entertainment system? The biggest TV. The ones with the big backs. And in the little cubby holes is every black hood movie known to man. Every copy, every Def Comedy Jam, every gangster movie known to man, and video game consoles, and the video games. With about 4 inches of dust, just cords all over the place. Now, of course, 90% of said hood DVD movies, with our classics, Boys in the Hood, Poetic Justice, Strapped, Belly, Players Club, Juice, Jason's Lyrics, Boys in the Hood. I mean, the classics. Some good, some god-awful. State property. What y'all know about state property, child? Now that's when you know you really dating a street pharmacist. And he got state property. Run. Nothing good's gonna come out of that relationship. So of course none of these are originals. These are bootlegs. Okay, they done got at someone's rim and shop car wash in the back. And then you have the posters, of, Boys in the Hood, your favorite rapper, Biggie, Snoop, they have the gangster posters with Scarface. Listen, I'm just telling you what I experienced. Again, you may have a different testimony. And then there's a faint smell. Now, we're dealing with, in my experience, a single guy living there. So you're going to have some type of man body odor. Okay? It may smell like feet. Just a little faint feet, corn chips. Or he's going to have that musty work smell. Or he may be covering a weed smell. And then you're going to have a smell of the nastiest, cheapest candles known to man. The only thing you smell is wax. And then the candles that they done got down there at the same car wash / rim shop that they bought them bootleg CDs from, DVDs from, they got them candles, 2 for $5. And they always have the weirdest scents, like pineapple slush or black suede carpet. I mean, it's so very strange and god awful. If they don't have candles, you best believe they're gonna have incense. Yes, friends, the incense. They're god awful too. Just the smell. So then you see all this, you're taking it all in, but as 18-year-old me, I'm blinded by all of what I'm seeing. See, I'm not seeing the red flags all in front of my face. See, the only thing I'm seeing is Snickers Man Terrence standing there in front of me with no shirt on, built like the way he is with gray sweatpants on. See, that's all I see. Distraction at its finest. So let's talk about the kitchen. Ain't much. See, they may or may not have a kitchen table. It all depends on if that was included in that Rent-A-Center set for $6.99 extra a month. And can we talk about Rent-A-Center and how that was a terrible, terrible thing? First of all, you buy a whole living room, bedroom, kitchen set all for $13.99 a month. But in reality, it was like 80% interest. That whole living room set would have costed you $3.99. But then in reality, it really costed you $24.99. $2,499. That cheap ass furniture. So it may be a kitchen table there, it may not. So I'm there, we're talking, we're on the couch talking. I'm like, now, are we gonna go out to eat? What's going on? I mean, you said you had a job. Now, I didn't get into the details on if he had a car. I didn't get into that at first. Again, he's sitting there with no shirt on and gray sweatpants. So, none of this was going on. We're just talking, you know, and then I hear at the door. So he gets up, he cracks the door, and he was like, bet. He shuts the door, he goes into, I'm assuming, the bedroom. He comes back out, and he closes the door behind him. 2 seconds later, he back in. And now me, being 18 years old, I'm like, well, I wonder what that was. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about it, none whatsoever. Now see, now, I will be like, so we start talking again. Now, one time did he offer me something to drink. So then he says, you thirsty? And I wanted to say, not only am I thirsty, I'm hungry. Do you not hear my belly growling? Like, what are we doing here? I thought we was going out. Is this the date? So I was like, yeah, I can have something to drink, yeah. And so he was like, oh, well, you want something to eat? So I was like, there we go. I was like, yeah, you know, I can eat. So then he says, I got you. Mind you, when I was over there getting a tour of that kitchen, I didn't see no pots and pans, no wooden spoons, no spatula, no spoons and forks. I didn't see none of that. So when he said, I got you, I was like, okay, so he's going to call in a pizza? Or what's he going to do? So he goes into that kitchen. And I hear a cabinet door open. Then I hear, pop, do, 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 shh, boop, door shut. And then I hear, so I'm like, he done put something in the microwave? Cause I am getting ready to feed me. So you all, when he comes back 3 minutes later, child, and he hands me a styrofoam cup with some lemonade, some good old country time, I do believe. And then he says, here, baby, he handed me a good old cup of oodles and noodles. Y'all see that steam? See, that's how it was when he handed it to me. Just steam blowing up in my face. And I said, oh, okay. He was happy too. He was like, go ahead. Go ahead, these are delicious. And I was like, red flag, a minute. So while I was sitting there, 18-year-old me, eating these hot as hell oodles and noodles, drinking the country time lemonade, you get another. And I was like, what? He gets up. Now, mind you all, he didn't have a cell phone. He had a pager. And he had a landline phone. So he gets up, goes to the door, someone else's door. Someone else standing there, totally different person from the other time. So he shuts the door, goes back into the bedroom, he comes back out, closes the door behind him. A few seconds later, he back in. Now, while all this is happening, I'm like, yeah. still 18-year-old me not understanding. Why is all these folks coming to your door? Now, at this time, y'all, it's done got dark. So I was like, listen, I said, so we're not going to go out? We're not going to go to a restaurant, sit down, have dinner? Because, you know, I got kids. And he was like, oh, no, I thought we was just getting to know each other. And then he says, I don't have a car. I said, oh, well, okay. I mean, he said, well, you got one? I said, look, I'm driving my homegirl's vehicle and I don't feel comfortable, you know, driving all over town in case something may happen. So, no, we're not taking the ride. So then he says, well, since we're getting to know each other, how about me and you go in the back and test out the mattress? Now, friends, not only have he done fed me the cheapest of the cheap, quarter-cent oodles and noodles with the Country Time lemonade, which is delicious, by the way, in a styrofoam cup. You walking around here with no shirt on and gray sweatpants. Your house is smelling like feet, weed, corn chips, and must. And cheap-ass candles. And now you're saying you want me to go back in the back and test out the mattress. So I said, it's time for me to go. So I get up and he was like, oh, okay, well, you know, I'll be in touch with you. I was like, sure. He didn't bother to say, let me walk you out. It's dark. The lighting out here in Hoodville Central is very dim. So here I am, upset, frustrated, a little embarrassed. So I go out, I'm walking down the little pathway. I get to the top of the step to walk down and I hear da-da-da-da-da-da-da, pow, pow, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And someone screaming, F-U-M-F. Y'all, when I tell you, I almost tripped down those hard-chipped concrete stairs. I couldn't get to that car fast enough. Now, there was some guys outside, and here I am trying to unlock the door. I'm fidgeting, my hand is doing this, I'm sweating, child, and I get a tap on the shoulder, and I'm like, and he was like, you good? He was like, you good? He was like, let me help you. You good. And I'm thinking to myself, did you not hear those gunshots? Rounds of bullets. So on the outside, you know, I gotta be cool. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I just can't, you know, I can't see to unlock the door. But on the inside, I'm like this. Get me the fudge out of here. So he said, I got you. So he unlocks the door. And he says, you're not from around here. And I was like, no, I ain't. And the look on his face, he was like, what? Child, when I tell you, I hightailed it out of there. Did I ever talk to Terrence again? Never again. Was he a street pharmacist? I can't say. Did I ever go back to those apartment complexes again? Did not. But that, my friends, is my hood tale. Of course, y'all leave down below what did you think about the first video of SAStober. Y'all leave down below y'all's experiences of hood tales, project tales, or just awful dates in general, child. Yeah, I got so many stories, child. But I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. Take care of yourself, take care of others, okay? And y'all know what to do. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, friends, bye.